Hey there, Republicans. I've got to know your secret. Like, can you share it with me? Because it is truly impressive how you guys remain so confident while constantly looking like total losers. Now, don't get me wrong. I hate almost everything that you do because you're genuinely pretty awful people. But I gotta admit, I'm impressed and honestly a tad envious that despite being the cuckiest people I've ever met in my life, you all seem to have figured out the secret to evading feelings of shame and embarrassment while exuding more unearned confidence than Matt Gaetz talking to customers coming out of a Claire's at the mall. All while simultaneously being the weirdest fucking losers in the history of humanity. First of all, just right off the bat, making a random dude your entire personality, putting his name and his face on your head and your shirts and your trucks and shit, that is some super weird loser behavior that I think we've all gotten a little too desensitized and accustomed to. Like, remember how you guys used to make fun of the kids who were obsessed with like Star Wars or Dungeons and Dragons and shit? You guys are kind of like that, except the stuff that they were obsessed with was actually cool, and you guys are adults who are obsessed with an amphetamine-addicted dementia patient who thinks he invented the word groceries. The kids you made fun of in school because you thought that they were lame weren't lame, but you are for all of the reasons that you did think they were lame. And y'all elected Baby Bush, you remember that? And the whole world was like, who let this idiot be president? And we were all like, man, it must be embarrassing to admit you voted for the guy who thinks the French don't have a word for entrepreneur. But you know, they have this saying in Texas, you know, fool me once, shame on, if you fool me twice, just don't fool me. And y'all did fool us, because right after Baby Bush, y'all full-heartedly embraced like Sarah Palin and Michelle Bachmann and the whole fucking Tea Party. We were all like, God damn, and we thought Bush was embarrassing. How do people vote for these people and just like keep a straight face about it? But once again, shame on us, because just when we thought there's no way you guys could tolerate being associated with any more embarrassing losers than them, you all go out and elect people like Bobo and Margarine Taters and Cream to fucking Congress where they talk about space lasers and shit. And then Donald Trump, really? People have been making fun of that loser since the fucking 70s. Like my grandpa was telling me about how he was the butt of every joke back then. And then you morons just go out and decide he's cool. He has never been cool. And you don't even keep it to yourself about how you think this loser's cool. Like, you do it very publicly and very obnoxiously. It's weird. Like, any human being with a fully functional brain would be embarrassed to be that obsessed with any other human being, let alone a fucking politician and an orange frumpy one at that. And it's not even like he puts on a good face that he's not a loser. Like, he doesn't hide it. Have you ever seen him in a social situation with his peers? He's the awkward kid in the corner that nobody talks to. And I was like, there's no way that this can be topped in embarrassment for you people. And then he goes and nominates a man for Supreme Court Justice who cries in front of Congress about how much he loves beer. I learned what boofing was from a Republican Supreme Court Justice nomination hearing. Now, I have to live and die with the knowledge that a man who sits on the Supreme Court of the United States of America stuck beer bottles up his ass with his bros. And there I was like, this is it. This has got to be the moment, because I know that if I voted for a man who nominated to the Supreme Court a man who wrote in his fucking diary about butt-chugging beers with his frat bros, I would crawl into the Mariana Trench, because there is no hole deep enough on this planet for me to escape that embarrassment. But nope, not you losers, because then Pete Hegseth comes along and he's like, you thought Judge Light was bad over there? Here, hold my beer, because it's empty and I need to do this line of shots before I go to my hearing. This is the most unqualified man to ever be nominated for anything except the Republican presidential primary. The man's own mom was writing emails to him telling him that he was an embarrassing, pathetic, alcoholic, manipulative, pathetic piece of shit. The dude doesn't even have a face or a personality a mother could love. He's bankrupted charities, passes out drunk at strip clubs and work meetings. He got his boss and third wife pregnant while he was still pregnant with his second wife while he was simultaneously raping other people's wives. And then when asked about it, he just kept repeating, oh, that's an anonymous smear, like he's trying to convince us that the skid marks in his underwear aren't from him shitting himself. Oh, and have you seen this man throw an axe? It's fucking embarrassing. Even more embarrassing that he couldn't hit the target, but he nailed the military drummer. And that is just a few examples of a long list of losers you guys confidently associate yourselves with. Just absolutely zero embarrassment, and I gotta know your secrets, because there's a lot of people with self-confidence issues that I really think you could help here. Like, we don't want them to become you or anything, because you guys are, you know, awful. But there is a lot of people out there who have a lot less to be embarrassed about than you guys, and you guys clearly feel no embarrassment whatsoever. So if you could give them some tips and tricks as to how to have a little more self-confidence, I think they'd appreciate it. Just a thought, and you know, I personally want to know too, just for scientific reasons, mysteries of the universe and all of that. On second thought, maybe I don't want to know. Y'all already make me feel pretty gross without understanding how the sausage is made, so I don't know.